My heart is pounding in my ears. It's so loud I'm sure everyone in this boardroom can hear it. I'm standing in front of the most important people in my company. My boss, the CEO, investors in suits that cost more than my first car. This is my moment. The campaign I've been building for months is on the screen behind me. I'm talking, my voice is steady, but my palms are slick with sweat. Then the screen flickers. My presentation vanishes, and my mom's face appears. Everyone sees her. She's in her small kitchen, the one with the yellow wallpaper I grew up with. She's wearing that old floral apron, the one she had on 2 days ago when she came here, when I told her she was embarrassing me. Her voice is soft, a little shaky. I just wanted to say how proud I am of my son. The air gets sucked out of the room. I can't breathe. My lungs are concrete. I can't move. I can't look away from her face on that giant screen. Even if he's too busy to pick up my calls lately. Her words hang in the silence. They're so quiet, but they hit me like a truck. I see the investors exchange looks. My boss's face is stone. My whole body is frozen. My hands are trembling at my sides. I want to run. I want to scream. I want the floor to open up and swallow me whole. The video ends. The screen goes black. The silence that follows is the loudest thing I've ever heard. It's heavy. It's judging me. All these powerful people are just staring at me, waiting for me to say something, to explain. But I have no words. My mind is completely blank, except for one thought, screaming over and over. I don't even know if my mom is okay. 2 days ago, I was on top of the world. I was at my desk on the 14th floor. The Chicago skyline was my view. My office was all glass and polished steel. I was prepping for this exact meeting. My phone buzzed. It was my mom, Linda. I sent it to voicemail. Again. Then I heard a commotion out by the elevators. I looked up, and my blood ran cold. There she was, my mom, standing in the middle of my sleek, modern office. She was holding a lopsided homemade cake with blue frosting, and she was wearing that apron, the one with the big pink flowers. She must have come straight from her kitchen. She beamed when she saw me. "Surprise, honey! Happy birthday!" Every head in the open plan office turned. I saw the smirks, the raised eyebrows. My assistant, Chloe, looked like she was trying not to laugh. This couldn't be happening. Not here. Not now. I walked over to her, my steps too fast. My face was on fire. "Mom!" I hissed, my voice low. "What are you doing here?" Her smile didn't falter. "I brought you a cake. It's your favorite. Funfetti." "Mom, this isn't appropriate," I said, my voice getting louder. I could feel everyone watching, judging. I wasn't Ethan Parker, rising executive. I was just a kid from a nowhere town with a mom who baked cakes. "You're embarrassing me," I said, the words sharp and clear in the quiet office. "Please, just go home." Her smile finally broke. It just fell off her face. Her eyes got glassy. For a second, she looked like a little kid who'd been slapped. She looked at the cake in her hands, then back at me. She didn't say a word. She just placed the cake carefully on the edge of my desk. She turned, her shoulders slumped, and walked back to the elevator. She didn't look back. The doors closed, and she was gone. The office was dead silent for a full minute after she left. Then someone coughed. Keyboards started clicking again. Life went on. I looked at the cake. It was messy. The frosting was smeared. It was everything I'd spent my whole adult life running from. That small-town life. That simplicity. I was polished now. I lived in a high-rise. I drank expensive coffee. I was so ashamed of that cake. I told Chloe to throw it out. I didn't call my mom. I was too angry. How could she do that to me? How could she just show up and remind everyone where I came from? I went back to work. I buried myself in my presentation. I pushed the whole thing out of my mind. I didn't think about the look on her face when I told her she embarrassed me. I didn't think about the fact that she'd taken a bus all the way into the city just to see me. I didn't think about the 3 unopened voicemails from her on my phone, or the care package sitting on my kitchen counter, still taped shut. I just got ready for my big meeting. I put on my best suit. I practiced my pitch in the mirror. I was going to nail this. I was going to prove I belonged here, and now I'm standing here, in this silent boardroom, the ghost of my mother's face on the screen behind me, her voice echoing in my head. I'm proud of my son, too busy to pick up my calls. Who played that video? How did they get it? When was it recorded? Was it today? Was it after I yelled at her? My mind is racing, tripping over itself. The CEO clears his throat. Ethan? I can't speak. All I can see is her forcing a smile as she put the cake on my desk. All I can feel is the heat of my own shame. I have built this perfect life, this perfect image, and it just shattered in front of everyone who matters. And for the first time, the only thing that matters is her. Is she sitting in her quiet house right now? Is she okay? Did I break something between us that I can never fix? I have no idea. And that thought terrifies me more than any failed presentation ever could. My legs feel like they're made of water. I manage to mumble something. I need a moment. My voice is a stranger's, thin and cracked. I don't wait for permission. I just turn and walk out of the boardroom. The door clicks shut behind me, a sound so final it makes me flinch. The hallway is cold and too bright. I lean against the cool wall, my forehead pressed to the painted concrete. I can still hear the blood roaring in my ears. I squeeze my eyes shut, but all I see is her face, her tired, kind face on that massive screen. The apology in her eyes that I didn't deserve. I fumble for my phone in my suit pocket. My hands are shaking so bad I almost drop it. I pull up her contact, just Mom. I press the call button and hold the phone to my ear. It rings and rings, and then her voicemail picks up. Her warm, familiar voice fills my ear. Hi, you've reached Linda. I'm probably up to my elbows in flour. Leave a message, and I'll call you back. The beep sounds. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. What do I even say? I'm sorry? It's not enough. It's a pebble thrown into a canyon. The silence on the line stretches, and then the call disconnects. I called her. She didn't answer. A fresh wave of panic, cold and sharp, washes over me. She always answers, or she calls back within an hour. Always. Is her phone off? Is she ignoring me? Or is it something worse? My mind goes to dark places. A long, quiet bus ride home. Her sitting alone at her kitchen table. The image is so clear it hurts. I push off the wall. I have to get out of here. I can't go back into that room. I can't face those people. I walk quickly toward the elevators, my dress shoes clicking a frantic rhythm on the tile floor. Chloe, my assistant, is standing by her desk. She sees me and her eyes go wide. Ethan, are you okay? What happened in there? I just shake my head. I can't form words. I jab the elevator button over and over. Your mom called here earlier, she says, her voice hesitant. I freeze. I turn to look at her. What? When? This morning, right before the meeting. She sounded quiet. She asked if you were in. I told her you were in the big investor presentation. She just said, okay, thank you, and hung up. This morning, She called the office. She knew I was in that meeting. Did she know what was about to happen? Did she have something to do with the video? No, that doesn't make any sense. The video was her saying she was proud of me. It wasn't an attack. It was a love letter I was too blind to see. The elevator dings, and the doors slide open. I get in. Chloe is still watching me, her face a mask of confusion and pity. I hate that look. I've spent years making sure no one ever looked at me with pity. The ride down to the lobby feels like an eternity. I stare at my reflection in the polished brass doors. I look pale. My perfectly knotted tie feels like a noose. This suit, this job, this entire life, it all feels like a costume now. A costume I wore so I could be cruel to the one person who loved the real me. The doors open into the bustling lobby. People are rushing everywhere, talking on phones, living their important lives. I feel completely disconnected from all of it. I push through the revolving doors and out onto the Chicago street. The wind hits me, sharp and cold. It's a gray day. The noise of the city is overwhelming. Honking cabs, sirens, 1,000 conversations. I stand there on the sidewalk, completely lost. I have nowhere to go. I can't go back upstairs. I can't go home to my empty, sterile apartment. I just start walking. I don't know where I'm going. My mind is a broken record. She called the office. She knew. She didn't answer her phone. The look on her face when I told her to leave. I pass a small park. I see a woman sitting on a bench, laughing with a little boy. A simple, easy moment. A knot forms in my throat, so tight I can barely swallow. I used to have that. I used to be that boy. When did I decide that wasn't good enough? When did her love become a source of shame? I think about the cake. The stupid, lopsided, beautiful funfetti cake. I told Chloe to throw it in the trash. I can still see the sprinkles in the blue frosting. She remembered it was my favorite. After 33 years, she still remembered. And I treated it like garbage. I treated her like garbage. I stop walking. I'm just standing in the middle of the crowded sidewalk, people bumping into me. I don't care. I need to see her. I need to know she's okay. I need to tell her, I don't even know what, that I'm sorry doesn't cover the canyon I've dug between us. But the bus ride to my hometown is 3 hours. My car is in the office garage. I can't go back there. I can't face the elevator, the stairs, the silent questions. I pull out my phone again. My thumb hovers over the Uber app. I could get a car. I could be there by tonight. But what if she won't see me? What if I show up at her door and she looks at me with the same hurt I saw in the office? The thought is a physical pain in my chest. I feel so alone. More alone than I ever have in my life. This city has millions of people, and I have never felt more isolated. I built these walls, and now I'm trapped inside them. I lean against the cold brick wall of a building, closing my eyes. I just need a second. I just need to breathe. And I keep thinking, I wonder how far this story will go. I wonder if anyone else has ever felt this kind of regret. I'm just talking into a void here, but it helps a little. Comment below what city you're listening from, just so I know I'm not completely alone in this. I open my eyes. The city noise crashes back into me. Honking cars, people shouting, the distant wail of a siren. It's all just noise. Empty, meaningless noise. My heart is still hammering against my ribs. I push off the brick wall and start walking again. My feet moving on their own. I need a plan. I can't just stand here. I pull out my phone, my thumb trembling over the Uber app. A car to take me to the bus station. That's the first step. I can't get my car from the garage. I can't go back into that building. The shame is a living thing crawling up my throat. I book the ride. 5 minutes away. I stand on the corner, feeling exposed. Every person who walks past feels like they're looking at me. They know. They all know I'm the guy who humiliated his mother. It's irrational. But the feeling is so strong it makes my skin prickle. My phone buzzes in my hand. A text. It's from David, my boss. My office, now. 2 words. Cold. Final. My stomach plummets. This is it. The end of everything I've built. The presentation was a disaster. I walked out on the most important people in the company. Of course he wants to see me. He's going to fire me. The Uber pulls up. A gray sedan. I stare at it, then back at my phone. If I get in this car, I'm choosing my mom over my career. It should be an easy choice. But for a second, my feet are glued to the pavement. This job has been my entire identity for years. My apartment, my suits, my status, it's all tied to this. I see her face in my mind again. The way her smile fell when I told her she was embarrassing me. I yank the car door open and slide inside. Where to? The driver asks, not looking back. Union Station, I say, my voice rough. As the car pulls into traffic, I text David back. Family emergency. Can't come back. I'm sorry. I don't wait for a reply. I turn my phone off. The silence in the car is a relief. I watch the city blur past the window. The tall buildings, the fancy stores. It all looks like a movie set now. Something fake I was living in. We get to the station. I pay and get out. The bus terminal is loud and crowded. It smells like diesel fuel and old coffee. It's a world away from my polished office. It feels more real. I buy a ticket for the next bus to my hometown. It leaves in 40 minutes. I find a hard plastic seat in the waiting area and slump into it. I put my head in my hands. I think about the video. Who sent it? How did it get on the screen? It had to be someone at the office. Someone who wanted to humiliate me. But why? The video itself wasn't mean. It was my mom being sweet. It was the context that destroyed me. It was my own actions that gave the video its power. I think about Chloe. She was the only one who knew my mom called. She was the one who told me. Her face was so confused. Was it an act? Did she do it? She had access to the presentation files. But why would she? We've always had a good working relationship. Then I think about Mark from the creative team. We've butted heads before. He wanted to lead this campaign. He was in the meeting, sitting in the back. I saw him watching me when the video played. His expression was unreadable. My mind is spinning in circles. It doesn't matter right now. The who doesn't matter. The why I deserved it, that matters. The bus ride is long and uncomfortable. The seats are thin. The air is stale. I stare out the window as the city skyline shrinks and disappears, replaced by flat, open fields and small towns. This is the landscape of my childhood, the life I was so desperate to escape. I haven't been on a bus in over a decade. I forgot how it feels. The constant vibration, the smell of other people's food. It's humbling. I think about all the times my mom took the bus to come see me in the city. She never complained, not once. She'd just show up with a pie or a casserole, her face lit up with joy just to see me. And I was always busy. I'd rush her out the door. I'd make excuses. I remember one time she came to my first apartment. It was a tiny studio, but I was so proud of it. She brought me a set of towels she'd gotten on sale. I made a joke about the pattern. I said they were kind of ugly. Her face fell for just a second before she forced a smile. I just thought you needed them, honey. I didn't. I had already bought expensive, plain towels. I threw the one she gave me in the back of a closet. I never used them. The memory is a sharp, physical pain. How many times did I do that? How many small rejections did I pile up? The bus lurches to a stop in my hometown. The station is just a small building with a couple of benches. The air smells different here. Cleaner. It's already getting dark. I get off the bus. My legs are stiff. I'm still wearing my $1,000 suit, and I'm standing on the cracked pavement of my past. I must look insane. Her house is about a mile away. I start walking. The sidewalks are uneven. I pass the diner where she worked for 30 years. The closed sign is hanging in the window. I pass the church, where she still bakes pies for fundraisers. Every step feels heavier. What am I going to say? What if she slams the door in my face? I wouldn't blame her. I turn onto her street. It's a quiet, tree-lined road with small, well-kept houses. Her house is at the end. The porch light is on, a single yellow beacon in the twilight. My heart is thudding against my ribs again. I can see her car in the driveway. She's home. I walk up the front path, the same path I ran down as a kid. I stand on the porch, my hand raised to knock. I can't make my fist connect with the wood. I'm frozen. I can see a flickering blue light through the front window. The TV is on. She's in there, living her life, a life I haven't been a real part of for years. I take a deep, shaky breath. This is it. I knock. The sound is too loud in the quiet evening. I hear movement inside. Footsteps. My whole body is tensed, waiting. The porch light above me clicks on. Brighter now. The door opens, and there she is. She's wearing her robe. Her hair is a little messy. She's holding a mug of tea. She looks small. She looks tired. Her eyes meet mine. There's no anger, no yelling, just a deep, profound sadness that makes my breath catch. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at me, waiting. I open my mouth. The words I practiced on the bus are gone. All that comes out is a broken whisper. Mom, I'm so sorry. My voice cracks on the last word. The dam inside me breaks. A sob I didn't even know was building rips out of my chest. Tears I haven't shed since I was a kid start streaming down my face. I'm crying right there on her porch, in my stupid, expensive suit. I'm crying for the cake I threw away, for the voicemails I deleted, for the hurt in her eyes that I caused. I'm crying because I'm finally home, and I have no idea if she'll ever let me back in. She just stands there, holding her mug. She doesn't reach for me. She doesn't tell me it's okay. The silence is worse than any shouting. It stretches between us, filled with every birthday I missed, every call I didn't return. I saw the video. I finally choke out, wiping my face with the back of my hand. I must look pathetic. At work, someone played it during my presentation. She nods slowly, her gaze steady on me. I know. My breath hitches. You know? Chloe called me, she says, her voice quiet but clear. Your assistant. She was very worried about you. She said you ran out of the meeting. She said you looked broken. Chloe. Of course, the pieces click into place. The office call. The video. It was her. She must have taken the video from my mom, edited it, and put it in the presentation. To teach me a lesson. A brutal, public, and utterly deserved lesson. Why is all I can manage to ask. Why did you send her a video? My mom takes a small sip of her tea. She looks past me, into the dark street. She called me a few weeks ago. Said you seemed stressed, lonely. She asked if I had any old pictures or anything. I told her I didn't have much, but I had my phone. I recorded that video for her because she said she was putting together a surprise for you. A nice surprise. She lets out a soft, sad laugh. I guess it was a surprise, just not the kind she led me to believe. I lean against the doorframe, my legs weak. Chloe. All this time, I thought she was just my efficient, quiet assistant. I never saw the disapproval in her eyes. I never noticed the way she'd watch me dismiss my mom's calls. She saw the man I was becoming, and she couldn't stand it. So she orchestrated my public humiliation to force me to see it too. I lost my job, Mom, I whisper. It's the first time I've said it out loud. The words feel heavy and final. I walked out. I texted my boss I had a family emergency and turned my phone off. I'm pretty sure I'm fired. She looks at me then, her eyes searching my face. Is that what you're most upset about? The job? No, the word bursts out of me, too loud. No, God, no. That's not. I don't care about the job. I care about you. I care about the fact that I was so awful to you, that I was embarrassed by you. I'm the one who should be embarrassed of myself. I look down at my suit, now wrinkled and smelling like bus. This uniform of a life I thought I wanted. I threw the cake away, I admit, the shame burning my cheeks. The funfetti cake. I told Chloe to put it in the trash. I'm so sorry. For the first time, her expression softens, just a little. A tiny crack in the wall of her sadness. I know you did, Ethan. Of course she knows. Chloe probably told her that too. I don't deserve your forgiveness, I say, my voice raw. I know that. I needed to see you. I needed to know you were okay. I called you and you didn't answer and I panicked. I let it go to voicemail, she says softly. I was hurt and I was angry and I needed a minute to just be hurt without having to make you feel better about it. Her words hit me like a physical blow. How many times had I done that? Made my thoughtlessness her problem to solve. She's right. She had every right to just be angry. Can I come in? I ask, my voice small. I feel like that little boy again, asking if a friend can stay for dinner. She doesn't answer right away. She looks at me, really looks at me, as if she's trying to find the son she raised underneath the polished executive. Finally, she takes a slow step back, holding the door open wider. It's not an embrace. It's not an I forgive you. It's just a door being opened, but it feels like everything. I step inside. The smell hits me first. It's the smell of my childhood. Lemon polish and something baking and just home. I haven't smelled this in years. My apartment in the city always just smelled like clean air and nothing. The house is exactly the same. The same floral sofa. The same crocheted blanket draped over the back of the recliner. The same pictures on the wall. I see one of me, in my high school graduation cap and gown. My arm around her. Both of us beaming. When did I stop smiling like that? Sit down, she says, gesturing to the kitchen table. You look exhausted. I sit. The chair creaks under my weight. She puts her mug in the sink and turns to look at me, leaning against the counter. The same counter she was sitting at in the video. So, she says, what happens now? I run a hand through my hair. It's a mess. I don't know, I admit. It's the most honest thing I've said in a long time. I have no plan. I have no job. I have nothing, really, except a lot of regret. You have a home, she says, her voice firm. You always have a home here. That never changed, even when you seemed to forget it existed. Tears well up in my eyes again. I'm not a crier. Or, I wasn't. Today, I guess I am. I forgot a lot of things, I say, my voice thick. I forgot what matters. We sit in silence for a minute. The old clock on the wall ticks loudly. It's a sound I haven't heard in over a decade, but it's as familiar as my own heartbeat. Are you hungry? She asks finally. I made a meatloaf. There's leftovers. Meatloaf. My favorite. She always made it for me when I was a kid. I'd come home from football practice, starving, and the whole house would smell like it. I nod, unable to speak. She gets a plate from the cupboard and opens the fridge. I watch her move around her kitchen, a place she knows like the back of her hand. This is her world, a world I left behind because I thought it was too small for me. She heats up the food and sets the plate in front of me. It's a huge portion, with a scoop of mashed potatoes and green beans. Comfort food. I take a bite. It tastes like my entire childhood. It tastes like love. A sob catches in my throat, and I have to put my fork down. It's okay, Ethan, she says softly, sitting down across from me. She reaches across the table and puts her hand over mine. Her hand is warm, a little rough from a lifetime of work. It's the most real thing I've felt in years. That simple touch, that small act of grace, shatters the last of my defenses. I cry quietly, my shoulders shaking, while she just holds my hand and lets me fall apart at her kitchen table. And in that moment, I know. The job, the city, the suits, none of it was ever my real life. This is my real life. This kitchen, this food, this woman who loves me enough to let me crumble and then help me pick up the pieces. I have no idea what tomorrow looks like. I have to face David. I have to clean out my desk. I have to figure out who I am without a business card to tell me. But for the first time since that video started playing, I can take a full breath. I'm not okay. But I'm here, and she's here. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to start over. If you've ever had to start your whole life over from scratch, you know how terrifying that feels. But if you've made it this far with me, maybe you also know it's possible. If this story meant something to you, please let me know. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Because my story isn't over yet, and I have a feeling the next chapter is going to be the most important one. I wake up on my mom's couch. The floral pattern is pressed into my cheek. For a second, I don't know where I am. The room is dim, filled with the soft gray light of early morning. Then it all rushes back. The video, the bus, crying on her porch, her hand on mine. I sit up slowly. My suit is a wrinkled mess. I feel hollowed out, but clean, like a bad fever finally broke. I can hear quiet movement in the kitchen, the clink of a mug, the tap running. I stand up and walk to the kitchen doorway. She's at the stove, scrambling eggs in the same old cast-iron skillet. She's still in her robe. She doesn't turn around. Coffee's on, she says, her voice calm, normal, like I never left. Thanks, Mom. I pour a cup. The mug is chipped, the one with a cartoon cow on it that I gave her for Mother's Day in the 5th grade. She kept it. All these years, she kept it. We sit at the small kitchen table to eat. The silence isn't comfortable, but it's not hostile either. It's just there, full of things that still need to be said. I need to go back today, I say, pushing my eggs around the plate. To the city. I have to deal with things. She nods, taking a sip of her coffee. I figured. My apartment, my job, or my lack of a job. The reality of it is a cold stone in my gut. I need to see what's left. What will you tell them? She asks. There's no judgment in her voice, just a quiet curiosity. The truth, I guess, the idea is terrifying. That I had a personal crisis. That I acted unprofessionally. That I'm sorry. I look up at her. I have a lot of practice saying that now. A faint, sad smile touches her lips. It gets easier. After breakfast, I take a shower in the same bathroom I used as a teenager. The water pressure is weak. The shower curtain has ducks on it. It feels more real than my marble-clad shower in the city ever did. I have no clean clothes. My mom brings me a pair of my old jeans and a flannel shirt she found in a box in the basement. They're a little tight, but they fit. I look at myself in the mirror. I don't see a marketing executive. I see a guy from a small town. For the first time in a long time, it doesn't feel like an insult. She drives me to the bus station in her old sedan. The car smells like her, like vanilla and clean laundry. We don't talk much on the way. At the station, she pulls into a parking spot, but leaves the engine running. I unbuckle my seatbelt. This is it. I don't know when I'll be back, I say, my hand on the door handle. It might be a mess for a while. You'll call? She asks. It's a simple question, but it holds the weight of every call I didn't make. Every day, I promise, and I mean it. I get out of the car. She doesn't get out to hug me. We're not there yet, but she rolls down the window. Ethan, she says. I lean down to look at her. Her eyes are clear and steady. Whatever happens in that city, you have a home to come back to. Remember that. I just nod, my throat too tight to speak. I watch her drive away until her car turns a corner and disappears. The bus ride back to Chicago is different. I'm not the same man who took this ride yesterday. I'm not staring out the window, plotting my next move. I'm just sitting, thinking, letting the hum of the engine fill the empty spaces in my head. When I get to my apartment building, it feels like walking onto a movie set again. Everything is sleek and shiny and silent. My doorman, Frank, gives me a strange look. "Rough night, Mr. Parker?" he asks, eyeing my flannel shirt and jeans. You have no idea, Frank. My apartment is cold and perfectly clean. It smells like nothing. It doesn't feel like a home. It feels like a very expensive hotel room. I drop my keys on the counter. The sound echoes. I can't put it off any longer. I take a deep breath and turn my phone on. It explodes. Dozens of missed calls, texts, emails. The screen fills with notifications, a digital avalanche of the life I walked away from. David, Chloe, Mark, HR. My heart starts to pound. I sit down on my sterile, gray sofa and scroll through the messages. David's texts start out confused, then annoyed, then furious. Where are you? The investors are losing their minds. This is a total dereliction of duty, Ethan. Call me now. Consider yourself on immediate administrative leave. We will be discussing your future. I close my eyes. Administrative leave. It's the beginning of the end. They're building the case to fire me. Then I open the emails. There's one from the head of HR, Brenda Shaw. The subject line is Urgent Meeting Request. My finger hovers over the screen. This is it. The moment I face the music. But before I can open it, a new text pops up. It's from Chloe. My stomach clenches. The mastermind of my downfall. What could she possibly want now? The text is simple. I need to talk to you. It's important. Can you meet me? I stare at the words. A part of me wants to ignore her, to delete her number and pretend she never existed. But a bigger part needs to know. I need to look her in the eye. I text back. Where? She suggests a coffee shop a few blocks from the office. A public, neutral place. I tell her I'll be there in an hour. I change out of my mom's clothes and put on a simple pair of khakis and a plain t-shirt. No suit. I don't ever want to wear that armor again. The walk to the coffee shop feels surreal. I see my city with new eyes. Everyone is rushing, heads down, phones in hand. I used to be one of them, a ghost in a machine. I see her before she sees me. She's sitting at a small table in the corner, clutching a coffee cup with both hands. She looks nervous. She's not the cool, collected assistant I thought I knew. I walk over and slide into the chair across from her. She jumps a little. Ethan. Her voice is quiet. Chloe. We just look at each other for a long moment. The noise of the coffee shop fades into the background. I'm sorry, she says finally. The words come out in a rush. I am so sorry for what I did. It was too far. I don't say anything. I just let her talk. I've been your assistant for 3 years, she continues, her eyes pleading. I've watched you change. I've watched you become so focused on climbing that you forgot how to be a person, a son. She looks down at her coffee. Your mom, she's so sweet. She'd call, and you'd have me tell her you were in a meeting. Every time, her voice would get a little quieter, a little sadder. She takes a shaky breath. I asked her for a video for a birthday surprise. I lied to her. I told her I was making a montage. She was so happy to do it. She trusted me. Chloe's eyes well up with tears. I edited it. I put it in the presentation deck. I knew it would play automatically after your last slide. I wanted to shock you. I wanted to force you to see what you were doing. But I never thought. I never meant for it to ruin your career. I just wanted you to wake up. She finally looks at me, her face full of genuine remorse. I was wrong. It was a horrible, cruel thing to do to you and to your mother. I resigned this morning. I can't work there anymore. I sit back in my chair, letting her words sink in. The anger I thought I'd feel isn't there. All I feel is a deep, weary understanding. You were right, I say, my voice low. About everything. I was a terrible son. I was obsessed with my image. I needed a wake-up call. Her eyes widen in surprise. She was expecting yelling, firing, a lawsuit, maybe. Not this. It was a nuclear option, Chloe, I say, but it worked. I saw my mom. I talked to her. For the first time in years, we actually talked. A single tear rolls down her cheek. Is she okay? She will be, I say. I think I will be too, eventually. We sit in silence for a minute. The barista calls out a name. The world keeps turning. What will you do? She asks. I have a meeting with HR, I say. I'm probably going to be fired. And you know what? It's okay. That person they're going to fire, he needed to be fired. He wasn't me anymore. He was just a suit. I stand up to leave. There's nothing left to say. Ethan, Chloe says, stopping me. For what it's worth, the man sitting here with me right now, he seems a lot better. I give her a small, tired smile. Yeah, I think so too. I walk out of the coffee shop and onto the busy street. The sun is shining. I have no job. My reputation is in tatters. My future is a giant question mark. But for the first time in a very, very long time, I feel like myself. And that's a start. If you've ever had to pick up the pieces after everything fell apart, you know this feeling. That strange mix of terror and hope. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do next. Because honestly, I'm making this up as I go along. The HR office is colder than I remember. The air smells like stale coffee and anxiety. Brenda Shaw sits across from me, her face a mask of professional neutrality. David is there too, arms crossed, not even looking at me. He stares at a point on the wall behind my head. My fate is already decided. I can feel it. Ethan, Brenda begins, her voice carefully measured. We've reviewed the incident. We've spoken with Chloe. We've assessed the fallout with the investors. I just nod. My hands are resting on my knees. I don't fidget. I don't plead. I'm just waiting. Your disappearance, following such a public and unprofessional display, has created an untenable situation, she continues. The board has decided that your position is no longer viable. We are terminating your employment, effective immediately. There it is. The words hang in the cold air. Fired. I let them settle. I expected to feel a crushing weight, a sense of my world ending. But I don't. I feel a strange, quiet relief. The axe has finally fallen. I understand, I say, my voice calm. It surprises even me. David finally looks at me, his eyes narrowed. That's it? I understand? Do you have any idea the damage you've caused? The campaign is scrapped. We lost the investors. You made us a laughingstock. I meet his gaze. For the first time, I'm not intimidated by him. He's just a man in a suit, angry about money. The damage I'm most concerned about, I say slowly, isn't to the company, David. It's the damage I did to my mother, and to myself. The rest of it, the campaign, the investors, it's just business. It's not real. He scoffs and looks away, disgusted. Brenda watches me, a flicker of something unreadable in her eyes. Security will escort you to clean out your desk, she says. Your final check and severance package will be mailed to you. An hour later, I'm standing on the sidewalk outside the skyscraper, a single cardboard box in my arms. It doesn't hold much. A framed photo of my mom and me from years ago, which I'd kept in a drawer. A few pens. That's it. My whole corporate life, reduced to a box that weighs almost nothing. The sun is warm on my face. The city noise is loud, but it feels different now. It's just background sound. It doesn't demand anything from me. I take the train back to my apartment. The silence there is different too. It's not empty anymore. It's peaceful. I know. I can't afford this place for long. I'll have to break the lease, sell the furniture, figure it out. But for now, it's okay. I pick up my phone. I don't scroll through LinkedIn or job sites. I call my mom. She answers on the second ring. Ethan? Hey, Mom. How did it go? She asks. I can hear the worry in her voice, layered over with a fierce hope. I got fired, I tell her. It's the first time I've said it out loud. It doesn't hurt. There's a pause on the other end of the line. I can picture her in her kitchen, leaning against the counter. I'm sorry, honey. Don't be, I say, and I mean it. It was the right thing. It needed to happen. That person, the one who worked there, he wasn't me. Not the real me. So, she says, and I can hear the gentle smile in her voice. What does the real you want to do? I look around my sterile apartment. I think about the box on the floor. I think about the smell of her kitchen, the taste of her meatloaf, the sound of that old clock ticking. I think the real me wants to come home, I say. The words feel true and solid, like stepping onto firm ground after years at sea. For a little while, until I figure out what's next. Your room is always ready, she says. No hesitation, just love. A week later, I'm packing my life into a U-Haul trailer hitched to my car. I sold most of my furniture. The fancy art, the expensive couch. It all felt like it belonged to someone else. I'm keeping it simple. My phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize, but with a local area code. My hometown area code. Ethan Parker? A woman's voice asks. Yes? This is Marjorie Evans from the community center. Your mother gave me your number. She said you were between things. Marjorie Evans. I remember her. She ran the summer rec program when I was a kid. She mentioned you have a background in marketing. she continues. We've just received a grant to revitalize our local business outreach. We're trying to help the small shops on Main Street. The bakery, the hardware store, they're struggling. We were wondering if you might have any ideas, maybe even some time to consult? I lean against my car, the phone pressed to my ear. I look up at my tall, glass apartment building one last time. Then I look down the road that leads back home. You know, I say, a real smile spreading across my face, for the first time in what feels like forever. I think I might. It's not a six-figure salary. It's not a corner office. It's a chance to use what I learned, not to build a tower for myself, but to help hold up the town that built me. It's a chance to do something that actually matters. I finish loading the last box. I don't feel like a failure. I feel like I'm finally going in the right direction. The road home is long, but for the first time, I'm not running from something. I'm driving toward something. I'm driving toward my life, my real one. If this journey from the top of the world to my mom's kitchen table meant something to you, if it reminded you of what's important, then do me a favor. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. My story is just beginning, and I'd love for you to be a part of it.